Welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. I am Ace Williams. This is
Deadly Dave.
And as sometimes, Markadius. And this is the Comic Shop. Welcome, you guys, to the Comic Shop again. You as always, and you as sometimes.
Thank you.
And look at those, even a thing now.
Oh my god, he's official.
Featuring Markadius. I just thought I'd add that earlier. As you people can tell, this is the Ninja Turtle episode of the Comic Shop.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Turtle power.
I don't have anything fun to say. Pizza!
Pizza.
All right. But before we get into the Ninja Turtle stuff, we got a little bit of things we normally like to get out of the way. I wrote a couple of things down, but nothing too big because they're not really our main stories. But I know you saw it, but did you see the Morbius trailer?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It's alright. I mean...
Alright, well, he's clearly not a fan of comic books and movies.
I
You didn't get excited for Michael Keaton?
Oh.
Okay, that part was good.
You didn't get excited for the fact that they showed Spider-Man in the background of one scene? That's exciting. That means they're coming to the MCU. What were your thoughts, Markadius?
I enjoyed it for like the Easter egg, like the Spider-Man and the Michael Keaton, but I don't know who Morbius is. I didn't know his backstory at all.
That's okay.
I'm excited to see the movie, but I don't know a lot about it.
See, right.
I don't know.
Next time it's going to say, featuring Deadly Dave.
No.
I am excited for that movie, honestly, because I do like Morbius. I have the Funko of him. I have my original action figure of him when I was a kid from like when I was 7. I'm a big fan of that character, but I'm also excited for the things to come.
Maybe Jared Leto can redeem himself.
I think this role would be better for him than the Joker role because you have to have some kind of credibility to play the Joker. And I didn't know what the fuck his credibility was other than, well, he's in a band. Okay.
So were a lot of other people.
Like, let's get fucking Bret Michaels to be the Riddler. Because that's just confusing, and I'm already interested. You know what I'm saying? That writes itself.
Tommy Lee to be Two-Face.
That happened. That happened.
Not Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, like the drummer.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, all right. You.
No, I got it, Dave.
I didn't. Like, that was way too close for this guy.
Cam can be hard.
Next time we'll say featuring Ace Williams.
Cam
We've
can
gone
be
through
hard.
the cycle like that. I just noticed that the Obi-Wan Kenobi show has been delayed. I don't know why. If anybody has any...
I think they do it just to get people talking about it.
Well, that's
Maybe,
bullshit.
You know?
I don't know. I'm alright with the delay.
And
time for that little gem.
I showed you the picture. I know you don't watch them, but it was pretty cool for the CW to do what they did with the Crisis. I didn't see any of the episodes of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No.
I did watch the intro to all of it, where they like show you. You hear the narrator, and he's like, on all these different Earths, and they show you Earth 616, Earth 1, and blah, 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 all these different ones. They show you Gotham on Earth, whatever it is. They're playing the original, like, Danny Elfman music.
Whoa.
And do you remember, I don't remember what the hell his name is, but he was the news reporter with Vicky Vale, the guy.
Oh, Robert Wall.
He's in it. He reprises his character as that reporter. And he's looking up at the sky with the bat signal. He's like, I hope you're out there, buddy. And I was like, that is so cool.
That's a really cool,
But it gets a little bit cooler than that. I don't know for Batman fans. Like, that's pretty much, like, the tits for me right there.
Hope you're out there, buddy.
Because that's saying Michael Keaton's Batman exists in that DC universe now.
That's sick.
But, it's cool because Kevin Conroy's in it as Batman or Bruce Wayne. But they show you also in that intro, they show you Titans.
Oh.
They show you a couple of the characters from Titans in it, so it's like, oh shit! Like now they show you Swamp Thing.
Wow.
They show him quick in it. It's like, oh, that's cool. But in the Flash, at the I don't know if it was the last episode. I have no idea the context of it. I just saw the like minute and a half clip on YouTube. It's Grant Gustin's Flash, who's been doing it like what 6 years now.
Yeah.
And Ezra Miller's Flash from the Justice League. cross over in the TV show.
Oh, nice.
And I thought that was pretty fucking sweet. Like, I don't really care, like,
It's a good
but it's
idea.
cool that they did that for them.
Mhm.
Like, they need a lot of, in my opinion, they need to do shit like that to get people interested.
Yeah, like my take on it was, let's throw him in the episode, and then all the people that watch the show will be like, oh, maybe we should go see that movie.
Right. Maybe we should go see that movie, because what might happen now?
Right.
What could happen now?
It was
That-
a good idea.
The CW has done some pretty gnarly shit with their ideas, like making John Wesley Shipp originally Barry Allen's dad, and then turning him into Jay Garrick, and then
Yeah.
turning him into the original Barry Allen from the 1990s TV show. I was like, oh my god, like it's the same actor 20 years later playing the fucking same role. Like, it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's just,
It really
it's
is.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
They've done their homework.
They did. They absolutely did.
And you like that when guys like that, they do their homework and they make it,
Yeah.
you know, for fans. And
And that just blows my mind though, why they can't get the movies together and do this shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm not just saying like a team up wise, but why they just can't. Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
Roseanne.
My phone went off during a podcast. Let me, folks. I'm sorry. let me just. Folks, let me. It's a female,
I'm just
so
waiting for Roseanne to
excuse me. But yeah, it wasn't Roseanne. It sounded like it, but I
sounds
said it
like
was a
it.
female. I don't want people to think it was Roseanne texting me.
Is she tweeting? And
She called me a monkey.
She called about.
Ooh.
Is that offensive? Yeah, is it?
Yeah,
You're shaking your head like, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I watched a new movie recently called The Lighthouse
That's with Willem Dafoe, right?
and Robert Pattinson.
Lucky.
Pattinson. It was really
Lucky.
good.
I want to see it.
Very, very good. If you wanted to see it, you're gonna love it. Honestly,
I do.
if you wanted to see it already, you will absolutely love it. If you know about it, you might like it. But it's an artistic movie.
Yeah.
So it's very, very odd and very weird. I liked it a lot. I will buy it when I can afford it. Wait for a minute. But I texted you, but there was a meeting with Patrick Stewart and Kevin Feige on reprising his role as Professor Xavier
Oh, that's awesome.
in the MCU. Now that doesn't really sour me. And I say that because he did it for so many years, and then he definitively died in Logan. Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
everyone saw that. But I feel like they could do some kind of time loop.
Sure, why not?
Say it's the same fucking Professor Xavier from the Fox franchise, and it's just my words. I can't think of words. And having Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness,
Oh.
that is going to be like what Civil War was for the MCU. It wasn't an Avengers movie, but it was
Oh yeah.
catastrophic across the whole MCU. Like it completely changed the landscape of the
You
future.
think it'll do that in the show?
What?
The multiverse of madness.
I think Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, is going to be the movie that, because they haven't announced another Avengers movie for a while, I think this is going to be that big setup.
The tent pole, you know.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That everything is going to formulate because this movie's now going to multiverse.
Awesome.
When you fucking say that, and I still get upset when people think it's new. Multiverse has been there since the phase 1 of Marvel. They've said multiverse a bunch of times. It's been there, but I think they could do that, and I would love that. I would love to see them do something with the Fantastic Four, maybe possibly do that. I know I said my idea before for the Fantastic Four would have them be working with S.H.I.E.L.D. back when Hank Pym and the original Wasp were in their prime. The Fantastic Four were in their prime, and they all go in the quantum realm. Originally, that's how they find out about it. That's how Hank Pym still knows about it. That little city I showed you.
Yep.
That could be something that they have created, and it's only been what would it be for us? 5 minutes for us, but for them it was
Yeah.
10 years or vice versa,
Yeah.
whatever the time
Yeah.
context would be. But whatever, I'm going too much into detail on that. But I love it all.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited for it.
And most people are excited for anything X-Men, really. I mean, that's what people wanted to hear at Comic-Con and stuff, and they didn't really hear anything, so.
Oh, speaking of Comic-Con, I'm glad you said that. The Morbius thing, I want to go back to that really, really quick. One thing, I mean, I'm excited as fuck for that movie because I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, real quick, it's all about a guy, just like you saw in the trailer. He has a rare blood disease, so he tests himself with bat DNA and shit like that, and he mutates into a man bat.
Yeah.
Which I think, there's a couple of jokes in this trailer real quick. Michael Keaton and Jared Leto at the end of the trailer, right? It's the first time since The Dark Knight that Batman and Joker have been in a movie together. Get it? Because he was the Joker and that guy was the Batman. Okay, well, that ain't land. Let's try another one. Jared Leto went from being Batman's arch nemesis to Man Bat.
Oh, God. Where's the hook?
Good. All right, I'm done.
Oh,
I'll be here all week.
that was
Thanks.
good.
Try the meal. Tip your waitress. Don't tip the waitress. I don't give a fuck.
He really doesn't.
Whoa! Don't let out the secrets. Now people, I'm gonna hide my face now. But the thing that excites me about the Morbius trailer is not even the Morbius trailer, but the Morbius movie is the fact that they've already announced that there's going to be a Blade.
Oh, that's cool.
So think of that. There's now going to be a vampire out there, and he's like. It's interesting that they didn't make this movie rated R because he does eat people essentially and suck their blood. In the cartoon, which was so crazy that they did this in the cartoon, because he couldn't go up and suck people's blood, what they did was they had tiny little holes in his hands, and they were like tiny little mouths, and he'd go like that, and all the little mouths would that's more terrifying than going up and biting somebody, right?
Yeah.
Like, that motherfucker's like, oh.
Yeah, you'd never see that coming either. Just
And-
grab
right.
it and, yeah.
Exactly, and his thing was like, you couldn't say blood, so it's like, I need plasma. I need your plasma. And the figure I have, he's like a big mutated man bat, and he's got these big clear veins in his chest, and if you press a button on his back, it pumps not white, but water.
Food coloring.
Yeah,
water.
food coloring water like
Oh,
through his
that's
chest,
cool.
and she's like,
That's
that's for a
sweet.
kid. But he's an awesome character. Michael Morbius is a really, really awesome character, and the fact that there's going to be a Blade movie, all these setups, I truly believe. I'm gonna get into it now. I truly believe that this movie is going to have Tom Holland's Spider-Man in it, in an end credit scene.
Okay.
Because right out, clear as day, it said from the movie company or whatever it was that brought you Homecoming, Far From Home, and Venom. Right there, if they're saying that right in the trailer, they want you to know all three of those movies are connected. They want you to know that all three of those movies have something in common. Because you don't see Disney, when they throw the Avengers up there saying from the company that brought you Star Wars.
It's true.
You know, all right, well, that's fair enough. They're from the same movie company, but what would they have to do with one or the other? Nothing. There's no correlation in the two, so why even say, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you have the picture of Spider-Man with the spray-painted murderer across it. Why would you put that in there after the events of Far From Home if you weren't trying to directly address that? Because he was framed for murder.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it said. On
Yeah,
the
I mean,
post.
why put that Easter egg in if you're not going to do anything
Right.
with it?
It's rumored that J.K. Simmons is going to be in Morbius with a much larger role
Put that together.
as J. Jonah Jameson, to progress that storyline more. But I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to show up at the end of Morbius. I don't know to what veil, but it's going to tie into Venom 2, because that's going to come out after Morbius. And I believe, I would 100% right now put everything I own on the line saying Spider-Man will be in Venom 2 to help him fight Carnage.
Makes sense.
sense.
Yeah, it
I
totally makes sense.
And you have Morbius. You're gonna have Shriek, who's going to be in Venom 2. You're building towards the Maximum Carnage storyline. There's no way you're not going to do that. And in that same token, I can see Venom and Spider-Man tingling up, and then Venom or Spider-Man getting the Venom symbiote, and then however it happens, Venom getting back to Eddie Brock, that's going to formulate finally giving him the white spider logo on his black symbiote suit as well. I think all of this is slowly going to come into play, and like, as a fan, I'm speaking personally for me. I'm going to get what I want.
Yeah.
I really think I'm going to get what I want with this Morbius movie in an unfolding Spider-Verse universe in its own thing. Like, I am so excited for this Morbius movie because what it is going to bring. So excited.
So that's gonna fit right into, like, I know you just said it, but like, Spider-Man, like the Sony Spider-Man, Venom, and Morbius are all gonna be.
I absolutely
together.
believe so. Yes, because this tone of Morbius, tell me it did not feel like the tone of Venom.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. There you go. It's
the
just
look, the feel,
everything. And why not? Right. You know, we're hypothetically, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm a fanboy. Venom takes place in San Francisco. I'm not sure where Morbius is taking place right now. But you could have Jesus Christ. Michael Keaton's Vulture from New York City getting transferred to some prison in San Francisco because at the end of the Homecoming they said, Liz Allen said they had to move because of her dad and shit. So wherever, let's say Morbius is in San Francisco as well, right? Now you've got Michael Keaton over there in San Francisco. Well, Spider-Man's over here in New York City, but he's wanted, and everybody knows who Peter Parker is in New York City. The kid.
Flee?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not leave? Why not go now? You're over in San Francisco, and you're taking a hiatus from the MCU, quote unquote, New York City, because that's really where the MCU exists. In fake countries in New York, pretty much. San Francisco can be its own extension of the MCU with its own shit going on. Ant-Man exists actually in San Francisco. Those movies take place there. But I don't know. I'm very excited for this because it'll be so cool. I don't see Venom in the Spider-Man solo movies or whatever you want to call like Morbius in them. I don't see them crossing over in the MCU, but I see them being like the Netflix shows and making reference to the MCU.
Right.
Like we won't see Doctor Strange say, "Oh, Venom." Well, maybe. Actually, I don't even want to say that.
Oh man.
I don't even want to say that.
Yeah, might as well just leave those possibilities open.
Seriously, I might as well. I really might as well because after seeing Michael Keaton at the end of this trailer for Morbius, I was like, "What?" I mean, he's in the white prison jumpsuit. He's set. You know, that's setting up the Sinister Six.
What does he say in the trailer?
Michael Morbius, you got tired of doing the good guy act, huh? What's up, Doc?
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
And he's a doctor because he's a doctor.
Oh.
And I think that's a funny, like, Warner Brothers kind of joke.
And you can have Cletus Cassidy escape and go to San Francisco.
He's already in San Francisco.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is. Yeah. So have him escape. He's already there, and
yep.
Yeah, it all ties.
I would absolutely love it. I would go gaga for that. But onward to other things, real quick. Joker is new on DVD and Blu-ray probably maybe about 2 weeks ago, so it's not that new. But it's new to me because I just bought it and I haven't even watched it yet, but I've seen it.
Stay tuned.
We did a review on it. It was a great movie. I absolutely love it. I bought this and something else with my daughter, and the last couple of times she was over, I was like, "You want me to put a movie in?" She's like, "Yeah, but don't put the scary clown one in." And I'm like, "I'm not going to." She saw the cover of it and just.
What about the Happy Clown one?
I don't have any of those.
You think he's gonna win Best Actor?
Yeah, I think so.
Too.
I think so. He should. It's funny that they put Robert De Niro's name on it. That was for
something else.
Golden Globes.
Oh,
I'm talking about the Oscars. And if he doesn't, I would. You know, what would be fucking trippy as shit if he went there dressed up as the Joker, because he's such a weird human being as is. Yep. And has such that Arthur Fleck personality. As a viewer, if I was watching that live, I'd be like, "Oh man, someone's getting shot."
Yeah,
because I would slowly leave that place.
I've seen interviews where the guy's like interviewing, he's like, "Do I have a frog coming out of my head?" And the guy's like, "No, you do not have a frog coming out of your head." Just he's.
Did
really
you see
weird.
his Golden Globes speech?
Yeah.
Trippy, weird.
I didn't yet.
He just.
I heard he brought up like climate change.
Yeah, because he's very like. Political, not like that, I guess. I don't know what the right word is, but
aware.
Yeah, I mean, he's a smart guy, and, Hollywood doesn't like people like him. But, clearly he has social anxiety just because of the way he talks. And because when he was giving his Golden Globe speech, he's sweating so much, he's pulling his hair back, he's like constantly just looking for the words to say. And I don't know, I respect the shit out of that because.
And you can see how a guy like that can get so into a character to kind of escape from everything, really.
And it could have been that movie that was like, that's the movie I was destined to play, because I'm so closely related to that. I mean, not like serial killer wise, but it was a great movie. It's in our archives.
It is in our archives. We do have archives. The YouTube and our Spotify and iTunes and Apple Podcasts.
Facebook and Twitter and
all kinds of shit.
Tumblr, sure. Grindr. Tinder.
We're gonna have a Tinder for the podcast. That'd be.
I'm gonna put out a full spread 13-month calendar.
Oh, get them all the supplies last.
Oh,
it'll be like
and the supplies will last.
It'll be like Brian Griffin from Family Guy. There'll be plenty of fucking.
There'll be plenty of fucking Oh yeah!
It'll be like his books. There'll just be a shitload of them sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
The Indiana Jones warehouse.
Guarded by top men.
All right, let's leave me alone. Let's stop picking on me. Did I give you the right one, or did I got the right one?
You've got the right one. Yours is smaller.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize that. I mean, I realized that, but I didn't realize. And before we get to the TMNT Turtle Power, Dave and I are going to reveal our new shirts. Dun 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 dun. You first. Well, because you started opening it already. So, These are our personal Comic Wrestling Podcast T-shirts. You can get yours if you comment, leave, hit us up. If people want shirts, if you want, you get a shirt anyways. You get a shirt anyways. But you're not going to get one of our shirts.
I am looking into companies so we can get them made cheaper because these were not cheap at all.
You have to let me know, and I will get you the money for it.
This one is mine with our Comic Wrestling Podcast logo on the front and my Skull and Crossbones logo on the back.
Oh, wow.
I dig it.
I'm liking it.
Now again,
it's my first time seeing it. So.
Right, this is our first time seeing these shirts. Well, I mean, not really, but it is.
For seeing them printed up and
the actual product. I got a little coupon. I don't know if it's a coupon. I would like to make another shirt for my mom.
But like I saw, the company that does pro wrestling tees, they do shirts as well, just for.
There is one my shirts with the original Ace Williams logo on it, with the Comic Wrestling Podcast little logo in the corner. I'm trying to rip off a fancy company, And then on the back, because I am and all of you are Ace Holes.
Oh my god!
Right? In white and purple. I don't know if people can see the purple on the shirt. Ace Holes. Oh, who fell off?
My Kino.
Kino!
It's not your fight, Kino.
But yeah, I dig it. That. I like this shirt a lot.
Awesome.
And the logo, like the patch, actually looks
I don't even mind how it stands out the way it does either. I really don't. But
I tried to get it I got it as low as I could.
I really do like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this marks our very first ever merch. Well, not merch, but
soon to come merch.
But if we make more shirts and stuff, they're not going to look like ours. Because
why would you do that?
Why?
I was kind of thinking of doing a GoFundMe to get a good amount of shirts made, and if people donate up to $20, they get their name shouted out on the podcast. Over 20, they get their own shirt.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? So we could get a bunch printed up, and it would just make it easier.
That'd be sweet. There you go. You heard it there first. The GoFundMe thing. It might be a real thing, people. So if you're listening, get the money out.
Send these guys your money.
Send us money.
Yeah, I like money. Money's good.
Send me money. I'll buy lots of inappropriate things with your money. I'm kidding.
But not really.
I don't know if I blinked or winked. I meant to do one, but I think I have something wrong with my eyes, so I did
You're
both.
like Lucas Sharp, just blinking. Just.
All right, now that my cataracts is kicked in, let's get into.
Turtles in a Half Shell.
Turtle power. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Markadius. So this brings us to the meat of the sandwich, or the meat of the turtle soup.
Oh yeah.
Or the meat on the pizza.
I like that. I like the pizza one more. Yeah. I wish I had pizza for us to enjoy for the turtles. But Ninja Turtles, guys, we all love Ninja Turtles.
I love the Ninja Turtles.
Absolutely, we
Ever
got.
Since I was a little kid, I've loved the Ninja Turtles.
I don't know any little kid that doesn't like the Ninja Turtles, or at least know of the Ninja Turtles. They are. Well, you got notes. Read your notes.
Read my notes. It was created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird in 1984. That was the year the first comic came out. The TV series didn't start until 1987. Went for 10 full seasons.
There were 5 comics originally, and they killed the Shredder at the end of it because they didn't think that the issues would run any longer. So that was the end of it all, but then it got picked up, and they wanted to sell toys and all that good shit, so that's why they did the cartoon.
And the Turtles all had the same color mask in the original.
Yeah, well, there was no color, and it was all black and white. I've actually got a couple, not Lego, but they're kind of like Lego sets, and they're all black and white to look like that cool Ninja Turtle.
The only way you knew what turtle it was the weapon.
And you know what would suck? If they dropped their weapons.
Oh man!
It's like, oh no! What?
It's gotta suck to be Splinter at that point.
Because they were all mean in the originals. They didn't have the surfer stoner persona yet. They were all.
It was a very dark.
They were all Raphaels.
Yeah, it was a dark. It really was a dark comic book.
I loved it. I've seen in my lifetime 2 first issue original copies of the first print of the Ninja Turtles comics. I've seen them twice at 2 different Comic Cons. And they were mucho dinero. I didn't even look at them very long because it was already bringing up too much of a price.
It wouldn't even matter the condition of it. Somebody would want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
I'd never read it, but I want it.
I love the Ninja Turtles so fucking much. I really do. I was just in Cooper's Cave. Give them a shout out. Cooper's Cave, where, Dave?
In Queensbury, New York.
Oh, look at me. Look at them when
Is
you're
it
saying it.
or?
Yeah, close enough.
So it's over by that. It's over by that place next to the other
South
building.
Glens Falls, Queensbury. It's all fucking.
They got stuff. That's not their slogan, but
it might as well be.
It might as well be because
they got Funkos.
They've got Funkos, but they also have, and I was looking at it because I was thinking of you, Ninja Turtles comic book, Ninja Turtles, and the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
So
they've done me, and I'm like,
they've done that in the TV show before, Ninja Turtles, like live action. Power Rangers and stuff, but the comic book was kind of cool.
That's really dope.
But what got you into the Turtles? The cartoon, toys,
the cartoon,
comic?
totally the cartoon.
This cartoon right here?
Yep, I remember because it came out in '87. I was 6. You wake up on Saturday morning as a 6-year-old, the Ninja Turtles are on the fucking screen. You're hooked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the colors, the attitude, the everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just you don't even have to know the story.
No, you don't. You really don't.
And then that's the thing is you can watch these old episodes and you don't even have to have a real storyline arc. Because every episode was its story in itself.
And you just know the characters. All watching it, you're just like, oh, all right, he's the bad guy. This is what's going on. That's the end of it.
And they would just introduce so many new mutants for them to fight that it didn't matter. You know, the story arc did not matter.
And if you didn't know who a certain guy was, you probably had seen him in like the store to buy. So you're like, oh, that's so and so.
Yep.
And they would usually release the toys a little bit before the actual episode would come out, so it would create anticipation too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely. I don't know if it was the cartoon, the movies. I don't know what got me into it, but I just know it was all there right from the get go. Because my oldest brother was born. Jesus. He's 5 years older than me. He was born in '85. So by 1990, when I was born, he was full blown into Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, He-Man, Dick Tracy, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, every fucking thing like that. And that's my childhood. It's all of that stuff. And then, you know, Street Sharks and SWAT Cats and all the shit I grew up into, but Ninja Turtles was always there. I remember right down on the corner where the Argyle Brewery is here in town, there was the movie store, Bob's Video Corner. And my mom would go in there. We would go in there probably every other day, me and my brother. When we were little kids. And on VHS, you could rent the TV series, the cartoon. And it was probably, right here. What is this, just the special, like 2 episodes with these guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it would be, this is the special one, but normally you could get just like the series and it would have like 2 or 3 episodes on it per VHS tape.
And they were pumping those out too.
Exactly, because they would hold like, I don't know, you could probably get like 3 or 4 of these on an episode on here. But they were great, but we go down to the video store and you could get, because what the guy in the store would do was, I'm going to borrow this real quick.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, I'll use this because it's actually VHS. Say this would be one VHS with 4 episodes and another VHS with 4 episodes. What he would do is he would tape the two VHS tapes together like this, put a little tag on it that you would take the tag off and have the number on it, blah, blah, blah. You take the tag back up to the register. So you would get 8 episodes for renting for the price of 1, and he had at least 15 sets that you could get.
Yep.
So it was probably the entire series.
Yeah.
It probably was. It probably was. Me and my brother would go in there every other fucking day and just rent these things. I would go over to the horror movies and get a horror movie. He'd get the Ninja. We'd both get the Ninja Turtles. He'd get something else. But these right here, these are exactly what we would get. And it's awesome to be able to even hold one of these, to look at one of these.
I got that at the Salvation Army for 25 cents.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I would have given her a full-on $1. And now I'm assuming her sex. So I'm sorry, person. It's awesome to see that.
I've never seen this.
And I remember.
I probably have seen that one, but I don't.
I remember when the movie came
That's
out.
awesome.
They would just run the trailer all the time on TV. You could not escape the trailer of the first movie. It was everywhere.
Well, you and I both went, not together, but we went at the same one, which is trippy to think about. Rock Out of Your Shell.
Yeah.
You were there and I was there.
Coming out of their shells.
Which is, do you know anything about that?
I know, but I didn't.
I still have the album on my iPod. I love that tour. I was front row for that. It was fucking amazing.
When was that?
Where was that?
That was
Times Union Center, right?
no. It
Was
was
that
at
at
the
Civic
Civic
Center?
Center. It was at the Civic Center.
Because they did the Sesame Street.
I was kind of off kilter from the stage a little bit, but I could still see full on, and you could even see a little bit of what was going on backstage. Them preparing was so great.
What year was that?
Oh God, that had to have been 91, 92 maybe.
Was it then?
It might have been a little earlier actually.
Because I definitely remember going to one.
They sold the
Was it then?
cassette in Pizza Hut of the
Mhm.
soundtrack for it. It was that.
Because I remember them being in their
suits.
suits, like legitimate suits, up on stage playing in their guitars and
Like
everything.
the Jim Henson straight up
Animatronic.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It- everything looked legitimate.
That tour ran for a long
like
time.
when they weren't playing, would they?
Oh
like,
yeah,
talk?
they actually, it was like a mini movie. It was a
It was
storyline
cool.
through the whole thing.
Wow.
The songs weaved into the story.
I remember the poster. I don't remember exactly what turtle it was, but it was like ripping out of the poster with a guitar and shit. I was like, this is so cool.
And then they did Christmas songs and stuff as the Turtles about wrapping presents and shit. They did all kinds of stuff. That it was everywhere.
It was.
It was like the Marvel of its time. Just shit is it was
Right,
everywhere.
there you go. That's a good way
Yeah.
of putting it. It's sad to see where it is now. I mean, I don't blame the drop of like cool nostalgic shit like Ninja Turtles on it not being cool. I blame it on like kids are not interested in this shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's more
No,
the tech
they're not.
stuff, which is surprising because I mean, like you'd think they'd all love Donatello and stuff. They're like, oh, I love Ninja Turtles.
No kids want the toys now. They
No.
want-
I was a little off the rails as we do.
Yeah.
But I was in Walmart the other day and looking at the toys, they have new Batman and Joker, like well Batman toys out, but they have Joker themed toys now, where it's like fake soda can. You open it up and it's like a can of like worms that shoot out,
Wow.
and it's like that's awesome. But kids, who's gonna want that? Like kids that aren't interested in that specifically aren't gonna give a shit, and most kids don't care about toys anymore, anyways. Like they have Alien toys, like Alien anniversary figures out. It's like the last movie that came out went under the radar. Who the fuck, unless you're a collector?
Yeah, collector. Yep.
Yeah.
And now at most stores they have a special collector section with those kind of action
Mhm.
figures, anyways.
Yep. But I mean, I love it all. I love all of it. I don't know any of the new Ninja Turtle shit where they look really bulky and dumb. I just think
I
that
tried
looks
to
It
terrible.
looks too anime for me.
I
It
don't-
really does. I don't think I could get into it.
I didn't even. I know you watched it. That like the 3D looking one.
I thought that one was good.
I didn't. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get past how stupidly annoying they were.
I didn't like April as just being a little kid and like Casey Jones being a kid and shit like that. Like,
Casey Jones was voiced by Josh Peck.
yeah, I didn't get into that at all.
I didn't get into that show at all just because I couldn't get past the turtles. Like they just annoyed me with how. I love the classic ones. How immaturely dumb they are,
because they're teenagers. They should, yeah.
but they don't come across as childish.
No, that was totally they were
you know what I'm
kids
saying?
in that.
Right? Okay.
I think
There's
that's
a
why they
difference.
didn't call it Teenage Mutant. They called it TMNT. I think.
I just-
it was
But
I tried to get into it, but I just couldn't.
the one that came out in like 2004, I absolutely fell in love with. I thought that one was fantastic. Actually, I have stuff here per usual.
Very usual.
This one, do you remember this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Um,
The reboot. Yeah, I like that one.
I like this cartoon a lot. I thought it was really good because they were like more adult Ninja Turtles. They were like in their 20s. It felt like they were more mature, but still like, no pizza with
Yeah.
spaghetti or something. I don't
They
fucking
were
know.
like cooler. Than
I loved
the,
it.
The bubbly.
Yeah, and they were kind of badass. This movie, actually, Turtles Forever, is this cartoon mixing in with the original cartoon,
I don't think I ever saw that one. I should check that one out.
and they go through
That's crazy.
all the different. This is basically Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one part in this where Shredder, from this timeline, because he's an alien, he has like just completely taken over everything. And he's got there's 8 turtles. These 4 from 87, and then these 4 from 2004 are all like, they're not tied up, but lack for better words, they're tied up. And Splinter's all kind of beat up and shit, and Shredder's explaining his plan. And he goes, I could get rid of all 8 of you turtles, but to do that would just be, pretty much dumb. I'd have to, he opens up this big fucking window and it shows all these different windows to all these different dimensions to all these different Ninja Turtles. They show that animated one that we were just, no, they did not show that one. They showed the animated movie.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking
Okay,
about?
Yeah. Yep.
They showed that. They show a picture of that. They show the originals in this cartoon. They show a bunch of
They
others.
show these?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, they own
there's
the
a-
rights to it, so
There's
yeah.
a picture where they actually show the live action
Wow.
ones. They show a bunch of them, and he's basically saying to destroy you 8 would be pointless because there's an infinite, universe of all of you. So I have to destroy the universe. Essentially, it's his goal.
Yeah.
So what these guys, all 8 of these Ninja Turtles, have to do is get back to, I think they call it Alpha Turtles. I don't remember what the hell they call it, and it is the black and white
Oh, that's cool.
Ninja Turtles. They have to get to that dimension. So you got these 4, which are these dipshits, with these 4, which are all hardened kind of badasses, even Mikey, teaming up with like the 4 super badasses to take on this super shredder, essentially. It is wicked fucking cool because Bebop and Rocksteady are in it.
My favorite characters.
Right, from this version, they're in it.
Oh,
This
that's-
version's
yeah.
Master Splinter. This version of April O'Neil is in it. They mention Mausers. There's so much. It's such a fucking orgasmic fanboy turtle epic movie. This is
I'll
really,
definitely have to get that.
really awesome. Mutagen is involved in it. I absolutely love this cartoon.
They made a couple games about these turtles.
They did.
Yeah.
Based
they were
off,
pretty good.
it was good. The first game was really awesome. I had it. I absolutely loved it.
Yep.
But right at the end of this movie, they have a cool little Laird and Eastman kind of little Easter egg,
Sweet.
which is I thought that was kind of cool. I won't spoil it because I
I'd
need to watch
love
it.
to meet those two. If I ever see them at a con in the Northeast, I want.
It would be very cool. I met Jim Lawson, which was cool. One of the original,
Artists.
like 10, what was it, 5 or 10 guys?
Yeah.
Which was cool. I actually have this picture down there that he signed for me.
I wish I had brought the cassette of the tour because I know I have it. I just couldn't find it.
That'd be cool.
So, if you ever get a chance, like just YouTube the videos of the tour.
It is
Just
Oh,
it
okay.
really
Well, on the Turtle Powered movie, it had a little bit about that,
yeah.
but not a lot.
And they used one of the
I remember
songs in the
watching that,
Turtles in
yeah.
Time game too.
Oh, really?
I wish
Yeah.
I had that game. I
I
don't.
wish I had that game.
Speaking of that, well, you have a game and I have. We both have the same game.
Tournament Fighters.
Not my favorite.
No.
Still fun.
And whoever the guy is at the video store that put the fucking
Thanks, guy.
sticker on the actual cartridge itself. Thanks, because now I can't get the fucking thing off, you bastard.
I could peel mine off. But it's also for Super Nintendo, which is much, much better than Sega.
I like Sega. I like them both.
This is an original Nintendo.
Wow,
Manhattan
I've never
Project.
seen that.
This
before.
isn't the original case. This is actually from a site called Retro Game Cases.
Wow.
Okay, so you can't really brag.
But I
That's
think this
cool.
looks really cool that you can actually have the original artwork
Is that the
for
third
it.
or
This
second
is the
one?
third.
Okay.
The second one was the original arcade game that they ported to the Nintendo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which was I remember
I have
going
that. I have
to
the
a store
second
when
one.
I was a kid and just playing the shit out of that
That was
game
the
every
best
weekend.
one.
I have it on my Xbox.
That was
I
awesome.
downloaded it on my Xbox. That's it for games that I
Wow.
got. Yeah, Turtles in Time, though, is probably the best one, and it's a lot of goddamn money, so if anybody wants to get it for me, go ahead and I'll let ya.
Get a GoFundMe going just so I can get Turtles in
Go
Time.
fund me my life. It's not even just for this or that, it's my life. Go fund my life. I don't know. What got you into Ninja Turtles?
Funny. Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think it was the toys.
Yep.
Because I didn't have. I had cable, but I don't. Was it on like Fox? What channel was? If I had Fox, but I don't remember
I think it
watching.
might have been on
that.
CBS. I think it was their Saturday morning cartoon block.
Because I never watched it Saturday mornings. It was always the VHSs for
Right.
me, so I don't know.
I remember it was definitely the toys that got me into it, and then you could go to like if you read books in school, you'd get like these little vouchers, and you'd go to Pizza Hut, and you could get like that's how I got the first movie was the vouchers.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because they
And
used to sell Ninja Turtle stuff all the time at Pizza Hut.
my
And-
buddy had the second movie, so I had the first movie. He had the second movie, and then like no one had the third movie.
It's still that way, unfortunately.
Am I the only one that actually likes the third movie?
I'll
Wow,
watch it.
Yes. Admittedly, yes. Because I won't even say I like it.
I'll watch it though and be like, "Oh, Tarzan boy, yes, I like this." But
Ruffles.
that's about it.
Ruffles. That movie's bad. They look stupid. Let's get it out of the way now.
They do look.
Let's
stupid.
get it right out of the way. Okay. We'll go real quick. Clearly, there is a 4-pack of Blu-rays. I only have the 3-pack because I do not like the animated
Oh, the
one.
animated one is
Oh
cool.
yeah.
So I do not have that.
Hot garbage.
I don't own it. I won't own it. I will own it if someone buys it for me. I'll own it, but I'm not going to buy it myself, so I only bought the 3-pack, the good set.
Mm-hmm.
Very first movie is fantastic. If you don't get a boner while you watch it, then you must be a female. If your clit doesn't get hard while you watch it, then you must be handicapped. And I'm not hating on you, but this movie is fantastic.
It is.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's great. You can sometimes see the zippers on their outfit, but you know what?
Oh.
I don't
man.
know if turtles have zippers or not.
You should
so
be
I'll go
looking
with it.
that hard.
The
if you see it.
one-liners, the Casey
Yeah.
Jones, just they
I
got
love
Casey
it.
Jones so good in that movie.
Let's hold on to the Casey Jones aspect for a minute. Ninja Turtles 1 is amazing. Shredder is so cool. The turtles are sweet. The way the visuals, it's just
The
perfect.
origin story is right from the cartoon.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. It's great. It's edgy. It's cool. But fuck the parents of the '90s that hated on everything that was way too violent or
Yeah.
they deemed violent. Because when Ninja Turtles 2 came out, which is probably in high regards people's favorite
That's
Ninja
my
Turtle
favorite.
movie.
It's totally
Yeah, not
favorite.
my favorite, but
It's right up there.
it's a close second.
Yeah, I really love it. Would you say the first one's your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the second one's your
Second
favorite?
one's my favorite.
Okay. Second one is fantastic. The Secret of the Ooze, they had certain things they could do, certain things they couldn't do. The Professor Perry, clearly was supposed to be Stockman,
Yeah.
but he wasn't because of legal things. The cartoon owned the rights. I don't know. Same with Bebop and Rocksteady. That's where there was Tokar and Razor,
Yep.
which they were still really awesome
Yeah.
characters.
They were.
I loved them. They were scary looking.
Yeah.
Didn't we see these guys on WrestleMania?
Right, right. Other than that, I mean, I don't have any gripes about the movie. I love it. I love the whole
I even
movie.
like Kino. Like, it was out of nowhere for Kino, but I like the
Well, not
dynamic
out of nowhere because they had to get rid of Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Because he was too violent. They got rid of the weapons, so none of the turtles have their weapons except for Donnie because he could have a bow staff.
But as an original character, I think he works. You know what I mean?
Combat Cool Cuts! Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not a Michelangelo, but he's my favorite Ninja Turtle. Ninja Turtles 2 is fantastic.
It's very good.
I know you hate 3. I know.
Ninja
3,
Turtles
I will watch 3 and I love it, but it's so.
One thing about 3
bad.
that I think they should have done is the Emperor should have been a descendant of Oroku Saki. He should have been a descendant of Shredder.
It doesn't fit.
Or an ancestor.
that's-
of Shredder.
They could have got better actors for
Yeah.
that.
The
third
turtles
one.
look like shit. The turtles look like shit. The 99, or what the fuck year did it come out? 91?
90 it came out, and the first one was 90.
Okay, great year to be 1990. A lot of cool things happened then. Just saying. But the 1990 turtles look so much better than those ones.
Yeah.
They look like shit. They got liver spots. They look like they're pets. They're fucking stupid. I don't like it. I don't understand why Corey Feldman came back for this one. He should have just said,
He was on a lot of drugs at that
I
point.
get it. I get it. I've been there too. But I've turned down a lot of bad offers as well.
And they changed April in the second movie.
Casey Jones comes back, and he's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
He's playing grab
He's a
ass with all the
babysitter.
yeah, right. Why
He's a
didn't he go into
babysitter.
back in time and beat some fucking Chinese ass?
And actually, it would have been better if he had switched with the Casey Jones looking character that, you know, from the past. He should have went back with the Turtles, and
Gotcha.
Splinter should have been babysitting that guy
Yup.
and, you know, the other 4 guys.
But yes, there should have been a descendant of Oroku Saki and a descendant of Roshi or whatever the fuck.
Hamato Yoshi.
Yeah. They should have. I don't give a fuck if it would have been corny and force fed. It would have at least been dignified for me to be like, well, okay, I give it that. I don't. I hate that movie. I think it's shit. It's dog shit. It's not even dog shit because dogs eat shit. It's beyond whatever anything wouldn't.
If I'm watching
I
them,
don't like it.
1, 2. If I watch 1, 2, I have to watch 3.
You know what I have to
might
watch?
not enjoy it, but I do enjoy it. I have to watch it.
It's a perfect trilogy if you stop after 2.
If you go 1, 2, Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, 1, 2 hours.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
I don't like 3. I don't. It's the end of discussion. No. It's not my favorite. It's clearly not. But we'll go right into. You want to?
I just wanted to show the original VHS.
Which
My mom has.
ours
This is
still.
my original from when I was a kid. I never got rid of this
My
VHS.
mom has my brother. Ours when we were little kids. Still.
And I did get
first
this
two.
from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Pizza Hut, man.
If you can see right down here, there is a poster. I don't know how well you can see it in the camera shot. You can't really see it that well, but it's from the same movie. It's Markadius's original movie poster from when he was a young lad,
Oh yeah.
And I have the one that you got me hanging up.
which is the same movie
Yep.
poster. But before we move on from these movies, I did meet Corey Feldman. Said this before in a podcast, so I've met one of the original Ninja Turtles, which is really cool.
I got my original artwork signed for me, which was
Probably.
really awesome.
I don't know any other. Are there any other famous people that were Ninja Turtles? Johnny Knoxville was one.
The
but
guy that does the voice for Elmo did a voice for one of the Turtles in the
Elmo!
movies.
Yeah, the one
I'm
that
a
was
Ninja
pedo. The
Turtle!
one that was pedo, or
What?
there was a one that got in trouble.
We don't talk about that on this show.
He was a black guy.
Now you're just bringing a whole different thing into it.
Yeah,
We're gonna get canceled.
It's true.
We're gonna get canceled. All right. Well, I guess our next guest can't be O.J. Simpson now. You just
No.
really destroyed this whole
Sure it can.
credibility. If we got,
I would totally do an interview with OJ for the podcast.
I'd wear gloves
I
the
would-
whole time. I'd wear them and I would make sure they didn't.
I would
fit.
hold up just an
How could you-
isotoner logo, just like
I'd have a blonde mannequin just sitting
just
next
give
to
him a bunch of gloves and say, "Do they fit? Do they
Do
fit?"
they fit?
Oh my gosh.
Like, can you sign all this football stuff? I love orange juice. Are you loose? Do you think he'd get offended if you asked him that? Are you loose?
Are you freshly squeezed?
I don't know what's going on here anymore. That is the drizzling shits that has segued from Turtles 3 into Ninja Turtles. Now this movie, I give it a pass. I really do because I think it's better than Ninja Turtles 3.
Yeah.
I think it has the unfortunate effects of Michael Bay.
And the shredder in it is fucking horrible.
I like what they were thinking because I do. This is where my logic of this movie tries to come in. You're gonna have a guy. Now, go back to these original ones, right? The Turtles were normal people size. If anything, they were a little bit smaller. So
Yeah.
Shredder could have fought something like that, right? With what he was looking like in these movies. They're much bigger in this, and they clearly show you that
Much
right
bigger.
in the beginning when they're beating the shit out of the foot. They're like superhuman.
Yeah.
Shredder clearly needs something to do that. Do I think that belongs in Ninja Turtles? No.
And the fact that the foot
But I get it. I
soldiers
get
were carrying
militia.
guns
They
and-
were a
yeah,
militia
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of a clan of
Yep.
ninja. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but I try to defend it in a certain way where I can because I do think like there needed to be new Ninja Turtle movies, and we got them. They're not great. This one's cool. I love this one. We'll get to it. But
They could have done so much more with it for it being the first one out of that series.
they went too hard with it. Shredder should not have been like the big bad at the end of it. It should have been like, oh shit, cliffhanger, Shredder's here. Or you knew Shredder was there the whole time. I don't know. I don't really know. Let's get into the second one because maybe I can kind of whatever. Out of the Shadows, I think this movie was freaking awesome.
Yeah. It
You saw it in the
serviced
theater.
everything that the fan wanted in that movie, I think.
Did.
I honestly
Yeah.
think this is my favorite Ninja Turtle movie. I'm gonna say that. And I don't know. I think it's the best.
It's really good.
It's just awesome. It gives me every single fucking thing as a Ninja Turtle fan I want. It gives me the Shredder, being a badass, but then being a cowering slime to Krang.
Yeah.
It gives me Krang.
And
It gives me the Technodrome. It gives me Bebop and Rocksteady. It gives me the Ninja Turtles. It gives me Splinter. It gives me fucking Stephen Amell as
Casey
Casey
Jones.
Jones. Like,
I think he did great as Casey Jones too.
Me too.
and it's an origin story for everybody. Like, this should have been the first. This should have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
your first movie.
Yeah.
And then the sequel should have been like a clip. Don't end this one.
And then with
Cliffhanger into this. And then this, the ending in this one should have been the ending to this. And then that ending should have been you going into Dimension X.
because then in the second one also
awesome.
he could have changed Baxter Stockman into the Fly too.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
one thing I wish he would have said to him, because he goes, "Take him back to our Tokyo headquarters," and he's like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "You're gonna be what you've always been." And right there, he lingers, and I even remember in the theater saying in my head like, "A fly," and he goes, "A footnote." I'm like, "Ow!"
Or if he would have swatted a fly or something like
Right?
that.
I'm
what
like,
I
you
mean?
should have
Yeah.
called him a fly, and then let me just be like, "Ooh, he's gonna turn into a
Like
fly."
a buzzing fly around.
It would have been awesome. It'd have been fucking cool.
Because he was kind of like that. He was like kind of like
Giddy.
lingering around.
Giddy
yeah,
little
yeah,
like.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Master Shredder, like he's like just looking for a piece of sugar to land on.
And like you had Smart Brother from Undercover Brother being Bebop and Seamus
And
as
Seamus is
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady.
Great choices.
They really were. They were fantastic choices.
They got the
movie was
personality
great.
perfect for those two.
They really did. The stupid humor. Now, if you weren't a Ninja Turtle fan and didn't know Bebop and Rocksteady, and you're like, oh my god, that, like, the profanity almost, like the fart jokes, you don't get it then. Like, that shit was right on the nose, perfect. Them eating out of, like, a 50-gallon drum of spaghetti. It's like, oh, that's so cool, man.
They literally took the cartoon and made it a movie.
So, and I know they didn't do a third one because they said they didn't find their demographic, and I think it's because you soured them with this.
Yep.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, because I think I've told this story before, but I could be wrong in my telling of it. It was you and I that went and saw this. When we were sitting there in theaters, there was a group of girls sitting down next to us, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to say this as I thought it went down, but if I didn't, you correct me. Because if I'm wrong, I want to be known. They were all laughing. I don't know what parts of the movie this happened, but they were all laughing at one point. I leaned over and I said something along the lines, excuse me, but could you please be quiet? Is that correct so far?
Yeah.
Okay. For a couple of minutes, it went quiet. And then again, it proceeded to get louder. This is where I feel like I might need to be corrected because I could be wrong here. I leaned in and I said, I'm not going to fucking ask you again. And then I sat back.
Yep.
Am I correct on this?
The main one I remember them laughing at is when the real serious part when Michelangelo was like, "We're not monsters,"
Yes.
and they were laughing, and I'm like,
That's
"That's
what it
not a
was.
funny fucking part of the movie."
When they take a bit of the
No, when him and Raph are talking about, like, why are we left out of the group?
No. When they're in the police station and the cops have
Oh,
the guns on, them, they're
them.
like,
They're monsters!
and he's like, "We're not monsters," and he's got the sad look on his face.
Right,
Like
right.
they were laughing at that point.
That
I'm
is
like,
right.
I remember you getting fucking. Really
But I did
pissed.
say it like
Yeah,
that,
you did,
right?
you
Like,
did, yep.
okay. Because I often remember that story and think of it, and I'm like, did I really say it? Like, I gave them the first warning, and then when I said, I'm not going to fucking ask you again.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I love Ninja Turtles.
It was
that
like they
much.
got free tickets to a movie and just went and sat in it just to do it.
To do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't understand why you would go do that in a movie that
doesn't.
I don't know why would you
We'll do that for Suicide Squad or
something.
something.
I don't know. Not dirt. If you see me in a theater, stay away. That's not like a scary thing to say.
Don't
is it?
ruin his movie experience.
Don't ruin it, because I'll probably hurt you afterwards. Fucking.
Is this the Out of the Shadows? I haven't seen it in a while. Is it the one where they take a drop of
In his hand.
ooze and it goes like 5 fingers?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, and one
They
of them
could
wants
become
to
human,
go
yeah.
back to human, and the other. Who was the one?
And
Raph
Donnie
and Mikey
and Leo.
wanna,
Keep it. We gotta keep. We don't. That's not what we are, right?
Yeah.
And then Mikey and Raph want to change because
yeah.
Mikey, right in the beginning of the movie, he wants to
Yes.
get out. He wants to
Yeah.
break out.
Because he goes in that like Day of the Dead parade.
Which there's a cool little Easter egg in there. The guy that gives him the microphone
yeah.
looks like, what the fuck is his name?
Oh,
Robo Turtle?
Bumblebee?
No.
Oh, Metalhead.
No. Metalhead.
Yep.
He looks kind of like Metalhead.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I was like, I don't know if they went for that on purpose, but that kind of looks cool.
Yeah. And Raph isn't mad that he wants to be human. He's mad because they kept the secret from him.
Right.
You know what I mean? That they
They
didn't
keep
tell
him out of the loop.
Yep.
Right.
I just thought, did that really have to be in there? Because they're turtles at the end of the day. They're turtles.
I thought it did because to me, it separated the identity of these movies from the original. It wasn't just we have to be this because we were told this. There might be an option, and I like that.
Yeah.
Because they're teenagers. They should not already have one clear. I mean, yes, they are disciplined, but at the end of the day, they're teenagers that are still indecisive on what they want to do.
And the originals
And I
never
just thought
had
that was
that
cool.
option of becoming human either.
No, I thought it was cool. I mean,
I know, but why even think of something that you've never been before? Like,
okay.
why
The-
me be like, why would I want to be a turtle?
If you pull that thread, then you're unraveling the whole thing. Because these guys, why would they want to be that? Well, no, they just did. They didn't even know what it was going to do to them. They just wanted to do it. These guys know what it would do to them. So they want to do it. Well, these two. They know we could go out, we could walk the streets, we could go out and stop living in these sewers. Where these guys, they live a shitty life, so they don't give a fuck what happens. They don't give a so. You got to take it as that perspective.
And they can, they're fawning over April all the time. They could be with a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like why would you personally want to be if somebody came to you with a mutagen that said you could either turn into a rhino or turn into a turtle person, and you're going to look like one of these or him, okay? So you already know that.
Okay.
Or you didn't have to take either one. Would you take one or the other, or wouldn't you take one at all?
I don't know. Probably the turtle one.
Why?
Just so I could be a turtle for a day.
There you go. Why wouldn't a turtle want to take the human one if he could be a human for a day?
I don't know.
That's right. Is that good enough?
At least, even if you knew it was temporary, just to experience that life of living above the sewers in the normal world.
Exactly. I think it's interesting as shit. I really do, because I've never seen that idea in the comics or in the movie or cartoon. Because you see the mutagen all the time having effects on humans, turning them into monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, let's play with the idea of, like, what if we could turn the monsters back into human? Like, I think that's a cool concept. The one thing that would confuse me, though, is what would happen to their shells if they mutated back into a human?
They would just fall off.
I guess
like a big toenail or something? Ew.
Yeah, they'd probably just, like, turn into a human, and then the shell would just kind of, like, on the ground.
Like a trash can lid.
Or like when a guy wears the suspenders with barrel.
Right.
They just fall right off.
Okay, all right. Now that we've got that image in my head. I don't know. I really wish they would have made a third Ninja Turtle movie. How far are we?
We're already an hour in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck it. I wish they would have made a third one off of this, though, because they did set up Dimension X, in my opinion. And I think the name of it could have been Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Dimension.
I think they still could. They still could go back to it if they really wanted
to. I've watched interviews with, the guy that plays Raphael. He's in Titans. He plays Hawk. I don't know what the fuck his name is. But this movie was a disaster. Was a disaster being made.
Filming it?
Yeah. The guy goes, we sat around for hours after filming it, waiting for our shuttle buses to come pick us up to bring us to the hotel. And he goes, and we get a call from the producer saying that we have to provide our own rides. And he goes, we were sitting there for hours not knowing this information. He goes, there was no catering ever for on set.
How did they keep Megan Fox happy?
I have no idea. He was really saying there was a lot of bullshit behind the scenes making these movies. A pain in the ass.
Alan Ritchson.
Yes.
Richardson.
He's a good actor. I like him.
I remember them being in the mocap suits, but I don't remember which particular.
I can Google things now because we're not using my phone.
One of the Ninja Turtles, Mikey, in these movies was. You watch Shameless, right?
Yeah. I know who the kid is.
The gay kid.
Yep.
Mickey. Johnny Knoxville was Leonardo in the first one. Weird as fuck. They get him. And then the kid that played Donatello, I don't know his name, but he's recognizable. He's skinny as shit. He's goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I totally do.
Okay.
And then Leonardo in the second one was he's an actor, right?
No, I think he's a made up human being, and they just digitally. I don't know.
I don't remember who did Leonardo.
I never cared for Tony Shalhoub being Splinter.
Yeah.
Just didn't buy it. He sounded just like Tony Shalhoub. He didn't sound like an old sensei.
Yeah.
Sounded like a Jew. Like a Jewy rat. Like a Jewy faced rat.
I like Monk.
I don't like that he learned ninjutsu from a fucking book either.
Yeah. That is kind of weird, right?
I don't like that at all.
No, I didn't like that either. Because that just lets me know he can read. And
yeah, there's no meat and potatoes. It's just
and if you're gonna go with the whole mutagen and all that whole storyline, at least keep some consistency. You know.
I don't remember, but was there a personal begrudging then between the Shredder and Splinter at that point? No. So see, there's no connection. There's no rhyme, reason, or definition. It's just it is. Accept it.
Yeah.
And I don't accept it, Michael Bay. You piece of shit.
I don't like your explosions.
I don't
goddammit.
fucking like Transformers. I think they're fucking stupid. What other movies did he do? I want to
Bad
check.
Boys.
Did you do the newest one?
No.
Was it any good? Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Was it good?
It was good.
Those are good movies. I don't want to bash them. What else did he do?
He's done a lot of shit. He did
Transformers.
yeah.
Yeah, all of them suck, dude. All your fucking Transformers movies suck, bro. Except for the Bumblebee one. I heard it was decent, but you didn't even fucking do it.
Bumblebee was
What
good.
was the fucking movie with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery where they're on fucking Alcatraz?
The Rock, he did
The
that?
Rock. Yeah, I think he did The
Oh,
Rock.
you fucking suck, but that movie's so good. That movie is so fucking good, man.
He's
Yeah, I
done a
think he
lot
did
of
The Rock.
pretty good movies.
Oh, why do you suck, dude? Why does he suck then?
He just turns our childhood into like movies that aren't that good.
He's a rapist.
He rapes our
He
childhood.
rapes my childhood. And he puts robots in it all. Like, you put robots in Transformers and made it stupid.
It's like John Peters who wants to put big spiders in every movie.
What?
Have you ever seen Kevin Smith talk about that?
No.
When he was
Spiders.
writing the Superman movie, John Peters was the producer of it, and he's like, you have to put a giant spider in the third act. And Kevin Smith was like, why? And he's like, because they're the most ferocious animal in the animal kingdom. And then Kevin Smith was like, and then I'm watching Wild Wild West, and holy shit, there's a giant spider.
Giant spider.
You know, I was like, this guy has a hard on for giant spiders.
I don't like spiders. I do like that movie, The Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Is a good one.
Yep.
What were we talking about? What has this episode even been about?
Ninja Turtles.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Hash show.
Ninja Turtles. Well, as you can see, we have a buffet of things on this table of displayery. Some bobbleheads, Bebop, Rocksteady. Just kidding, Bebop, Rocksteady. These are pretty cool action figures. Did you get those at Cooper's?
No, I got those online actually.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
I'll give
Gotta
you
love eBay.
$40 for them.
Nope.
I'll give you my originals over here for them. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. Those are my originals. You can't see them. There's a Lego version of Krang. This cool little item that Dave and I both have one
Yes,
of.
fucking great. It looks so accurate.
I don't know if it can even be seen, but
Not the blinking isn't accurate, but the whole thing is so fucking accurate.
Yeah, and it's awesome. You know, the canister of the ooze. We've got a little Lego version of the turtle van.
And I do like that they, even though they used a dump truck in that movie,
It's clever.
or garbage truck. I would have liked a van, but still it fits. You know,
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to think
does
about
fit.
it. Are these fucking big turtles really going to fit in a van? Like, they're going to fit in
They
a
had,
Oh, yeah, for
they had
scale,
a van
yeah,
at the end though.
Right, they did.
Yeah,
They had a little
van,
like
yeah.
Easter egg version
Yeah,
of it, which
yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
And what did it have? Like a fly swatter on it at the door?
God, I don't even remember.
It's like or like a hand.
I try not to watch that one as much.
I love it.
I mean, there's been so many different things of Ninja Turtles, from the video games, comic books, music. I mean, there's TV shows, the live action TV show of the Ninja Turtles that
The
came out,
Venus de Milo, you know,
which
female turtle.
is just poopy.
Yeah.
It's just a poopy show.
But they were trying to use the live action, you know, suits and stuff, which I get.
These are probably the suits they used from Markadius show.
Yeah, yep. Pretty much
Probably.
same thing, yep.
The bad guy was cool. The Dragon Master or whatever, he was kind of a cool badass. Looked pretty fucking gnarly. But this DVD special has the two Power Ranger crossovers.
Yeah,
Was
because
it Turbo?
Saban took over at that point.
No, Space.
Okay.
The original cartoon. I've got a couple different volumes of it.
I've got the whole set, which actually came
came
in the
in the-
turtle van.
That's I was trying to remember if it came in the van. We've
Yeah,
got that
so
playing
I
in the
want-
background over here. The episode. There's Vern. There's dragons. You can see Saruman, or not Saruman. What the fuck is his name? Smog. Smog is attacking the
They're on a
Titanic.
cruise ship. Oh my god.
Look at it. He's got telekinesis powers. Like what? Ninja Turtles is fucking nuts.
Donatello, my favorite, with his bow staff.
Your favorite's Donnie. Your favorite's Donnie. My favorite's Mikey, because he's one cool party dude. Here's the music, which actually I just downloaded today on my Xbox.
The original score from the original movie.
Wow.
A company called Waxworks got the rights to it, and they remastered it and everything. So
Wow.
It's only like 16 bucks
Turtle
online.
powers on there.
No.
no, it's the original score from the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, from the
gotcha.
original.
not the
Gotcha.
soundtrack.
No,
Gotcha.
the original. Yeah, I have the soundtrack
Nice.
too, but yep,
Very nice.
because the score and music from that is really good.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be the Markadius in this chair without Ninja Turtles. I'd be a different Markadius.
I like that.
I don't even know. You know, it's funny. One of the very first times you and I were supposed to hang out, you know where I'm going, don't you? There was a 25th anniversary Ninja Turtle Comic-Con.
The first Comic-Con we would have
ever
ever
been
gone
to. And we were going to go, and the day of, because only real
I'll
friends
never
do
live
this.
this down.
This was like not even like this was the cusp of our
We weren't
friendship.
even
We weren't
really
even
friends.
right. We weren't even really friends at this
I
point.
know.
We were. I was like, hey, maybe I'll become friends with this guy if we go and do this thing.
Hey, do you want to go to this Comic-Con thing?
It's the 25th anniversary of Ninja Turtles.
It's like Turtles.
You wear your Ninja Turtles shirt. I like Ninja Turtles. Let's just do that, man. Like, you
do
seem like
it.
a cool dude. I'm a cool dude. Let's be cool dudes.
Yeah.
I'm a dude. He's
I'll
a
bring
dude.
this thing,
She's
he'll
a dude.
sign
We're
it.
all dudes.
But he's
Who's
like
gonna be there?
everybody. Like the original Master Splinter, 3 of the original Turtles, like
Eastman and Laird. Were
Eastman
gonna be
and Laird were gonna be there. Fucking the original April O'Neil was gonna be there. So many people were gonna be there. The day of, an hour before he was supposed to come pick me up, I get a text. I barely knew the guy.
You did.
I barely knew him.
You did.
Hey man, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not really feeling too good today.
It really wasn't.
I still don't know if I believe that.
And you're like, oh man. I really wasn't.
I forgive him though.
And I'm like,
because-
did you go? Like, did you go? And you're like, no.
No, I didn't.
I think we had just gotten our
This was
we were talking a lot.
this was back in maybe 2015. Maybe the end of 2015, beginning of 2016.
Yeah, because the first movie we saw was Batman vs Superman.
Was that the first movie we ever saw together?
Yeah.
That's weird you know that, but I kind of like that.
Uh-huh.
I would have no clue. And that came out in 2016.
I
Right?
knew he would bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm never going to forget that.
I know.
I'm not going to forget that. That's my chance. I
I
could have
wanted
met
to
them
go.
all.
I really
I could have met them all. I could have met all of them. I could have met them all.
Yeah.
I could have met them all. I could have met every one of them.
It's his Ninja Turtles Pokemon. He could have called them all.
Yeah. But you know who we have met? We have met and you have not met?
Who?
Super Shredder!
Super Shredder.
Super
And I have his
Shredder.
autograph on
I
the
couldn't
trading
find mine.
card.
I have it. I can't find where it is. But yeah, we met Kevin Nash, who, if anybody knows wrestling or Ninja Turtles or the
I know Kevin Nash.
goofy comic book
Jeez.
shit,
He was the only guy they could find big enough to wear the suit.
which was a giant Gonzalez suit, pretty much, right? It really did look
Yeah,
like
wait,
a
Michael
purple.
Douglas wasn't around. He's a big guy.
Michael Douglas? Kirk
Kevin Nash
Douglas's
is like
dad?
7 foot.
Are you thinking of Michael Clark Duncan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like Michael Douglas.
Michael
that fucking
Douglas.
old
Pick
fuck?
him?
Right.
Like, what?
What the fuck are you? You want him to fight the turtles?
Michael Clark Duncan,
I can kind of see
Yeah.
it just because the size of him, but
but they wanted a guy that would tower over them too.
and Nash
Yeah.
did it.
Yep.
So yeah, we met Nash, got the autographed Super Shredder, trading card signed, which is cool to have that.
Yes.
Um,
One
Did
thing
he
in
tell
the,
you not to sell it on eBay?
yes, he did. He looked right at me, and before he handed it back, he said, "I better not see this on eBay."
Don't
Well,
worry.
thank God for Amazon.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I kid.
But in the wrestling vein, one thing I wanted to mention: WWF in 1993 did one match with the Toxic Turtles.
I was gonna say we should have mentioned the Toxic Turtles in this, but I totally forgot.
Barry Hardy and Dwayne Gill. It was one time only at a TV taping.
They were supposed to. I just heard about them like last year. They were supposed
Yeah.
to be like the Ninja Turtles, and it just didn't work. The Toxic Turtles. I've never seen it. I can't envision it, but I can only imagine.
It was horrible.
That's
It was
what
so
I'm.
bad.
That's what I was expecting.
I just wanted to mention that since we were talking about Nash. And
I'm glad you did.
wrestling.
Hey, they cross over. I mean, look at the shirt I'm wearing, toying around. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's Krang. So, it's just what it is.
And I think the Turtles took so not to go back into the Turtles.
Get
too
right
much.
into it, because that's what it is. This is the Turtles.
There was a time where Turtles weren't around.
Yes.
I would say from 2005 to 2015.
Mm.
And because you couldn't they weren't in the stores. You couldn't
I would say from like at least 2000, close to 2005 to like 2010.
There was
Because
a
until the Nickelodeon cartoon picked up, and even then though, I go off of what you're saying. It wasn't that big.
No.
Unless you knew about it and you were a fan about it, you didn't go out of your way for it.
And like the classic Turtles and
Once they started releasing the DVD sets of the original series and all that stuff, it started picking up.
Oh yeah, there was a resurgence in specific things because what I don't know if this is what you're saying, but there has never been so much
as there is now.
Right.
Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like 5 years, 6 years ago, 7, 10 years ago, or whatever, 15 years ago, you couldn't go out to even FYE and get the, I don't want to say the Funko, but the pop culture collectible stuff.
Right. It wasn't there.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I mean, for most of it, honestly.
Now there's everything.
Now it's nerd culture. Yeah. Nerd culture, that's what really has happened. It took over. And it changed the whole landscape of what's deemed cool, what's not cool.
There wasn't much of a demand besides the hardcore fans.
Right. And now, like you said, even Walmart has a spot where it's really meant for a collector to go into. And before, Walmart was supposed to be for an average Joe, the everyman. And now it's like, oh no, we have people that would specifically come in here and looking for this shit.
Yeah.
So let us set it aside. I mean, even the Funkos, like specifically Funkos, Walmart, Target, all of them have their own exclusives because they know it's not just a toy anymore. It's not just these people wanted to go home and play with it. It's like, no, there's a 30-year-old that's going to come in here and buy this.
Yeah, or you got a guy my age that's going in, you see a Smurfs long sleeve shirt, and you're like, I fucking need that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, just...
I'm judging that.
or a Ninja Turtles shirt or whatever.
I'm
just
not judging that.
But, you know, you see kids, you know, teenagers that are wearing a fucking Ninja Turtle shirt, and you're like, you have no fucking clue about the classic.
Right. Or if they do know, then they had a cool parent that is teaching them, or a guardian or whoever.
Because I would much rather a parent,
a large rat,
or a large rat,
show them those kind of cartoons than the shit that's out now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the shit that's out now is garbage.
What was there that they just like rebooted?
Thundercats. And it looks fucking anime. It looks so, or not even anime. It looks so fucking horrible.
It might have been that. It's all bubbly looking.
Yeah, it looks so bad.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking of that when I was watching this earlier. There is a certain way cartoons look for that era.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only getting worse. Animation is only getting worse, in my opinion. And the animation that doesn't get looked at like, oh, this is great, or this is, because like Rick and Morty, that style of animation, I'm not saying that style of show, but that style of animation, that to me is like, oh, I could watch that shit all day long. You could draw any character like that, and it'll still, even though it'll look cartoony, it'll still come across as like, that looks good.
Yep.
A cartoon that I kind of watched a little bit here and there was Steven Universe.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's kind of adult eccentric because it's got a mature theme to it at times.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it looks, it's that bubbly anime, like American version anime. I don't know if that's even a technical thing.
No, I get it.
But that's how Thundercats look. The new cartoon looks like that. And
to me, it doesn't fit.
That's not right. Yeah. No, like that's one that should have the Rick and Morty, not specifically that style, but like it should have a real look to it, even though they're cat people.
Like it was actual drawings on paper, not out of a computer screen.
Did anyone watch the Thundercats that was like maybe 4 or 5 years old? It was more.
It looks like anime.
Yeah.
No, I never saw that.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, and I get, cartoons do that with a lot of different things. Like I have 4 different animes for the Marvel universe of shows. There's the X-Men anime series. There's a Blade anime, Iron Man one, and a Wolverine one.
Yep, I remember that.
Those are kind of sweet. I actually do like them. But I'm not a huge anime guy like that. But I don't know. I don't like cartoons the way they look now. That's why I don't like the way the Ninja Turtles look now. I just think, for one, they look absolutely stupid. They look like a 5-year-old drew them.
Yeah, they do. They're all disproportionate.
All completely disproportionate. They don't look realistic at all.
It's like the attention span of kids. Like they have to cater these cartoons, it has to be flashier and
It has to be so dumbed down.
yeah.
Like this is like. Look at April's outfit for Pete's sake. That is a full blown like jumpsuit.
There's creases. And
There's a
everything.
belt
yeah.
buckle and I'm not saying that that's not on the new. There's not detail on it, but a real aesthetic look to it makes you believe. Oh man, I could believe these turtles exist in my
and
world.
like their clothes are moving when they move.
Yeah.
Like in the new ones, it's like just blocky to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It all looks awful. I love this whole shit though. I really do love this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Ninja Turtles is just huge to me. I know Dave, you've got your comic book right there. Which one do you got?
This is one with Mondo Gecko on the front of it.
I used to have a shit ton of them.
I actually got this when I was on vacation. I turned my tickets in at the arcade.
Nice.
And this was in the box, and I was like, "There's only one Ninja Turtles comic in there. I am grabbing that."
Very cool.
Yeah.
I used to, because I've always pretty much lived in the Greenwich area right here, and there used to be an actual dollar store right in the plaza, and I would go there probably every couple of weeks, and they would have thick books, basically novels almost, but thicker than this. And they probably have like 4 or 5 stories in each one, and they were all these different Ninja Turtle ones, from them going to these different dimensions of like dinosaurs, to the future, to like Atlantis, to where this one place where there is a floating cow's head, like all this weird shit. Do you remember the Stingray character?
Yeah.
He was a big part of like the Atlantis kind of world one. There was the one where they went where the rabbit. What the fuck was his name?
Yojimbo.
Yep.
Yojimbo.
Yep.
The samurai.
The samurai. Yep. There were so many. I wish I still had all those books. They were so fucking cool. They were so cool. There's this one that Markadius snagged for me.
There's a second one too.
I'd like to get it. I would. When I read this, I think I've told you this. I do voices, and I try to do the best version of the movie voices of Ghostbusters and the Turtles as I can.
Good.
Makes it kind of fun to read. But this is a pretty sweet
You let
crossover.
me read it. It was really good.
It was pretty sweet. I mean, and you have the Ninja Turtle crossovers with
Yep.
Batman.
Yep, both of them.
Both of them.
Which we didn't even talk about
There's so many.
the Blu-ray. That
Right, well,
was-
there's
yeah,
so much
they
for
made a
the.
movie out of
There's
it.
so much Ninja Turtle stuff. I mean, yeah, the not the DVDs, but the crossover books you have with the Ninja Turtles and Batman. They made it into the movie,
Yep.
which
was
we've talked about a
I
little
don't
bit.
know
It was
who-
pretty good.
Got that together, but I love it.
What, have you read the second one yet?
No.
I'm wondering what that one's about. I bought on one of my journeys to Cooper's Cave, Bebop and Rocksteady Destroyed Everything, which I've read it like maybe 2 or 3 times. It's very weird, and I don't understand it because I don't know where these characters come from. That's the only reason I don't understand it. I don't know what. Because when you look at that Donnie, it looks like the Nickelodeon version a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you look at this Bebop and Rocksteady, it kind of looks like the '87 version.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it feels, like it's mixed of all of these universes. There's no Shredder in it. They're in dinosaur world. There's no New York City, so it's just. But it was cool. It's a cool comic book that I found. Ding. And then this is my poster that I got from Jim Lawson. And he signed that,
Really cool.
or right, Sean? Which I thought was pretty sweet. Actually, I have. This was a print that I bought at a Comic-Con because I thought it was pretty sweet.
Oh, sweet. I have the one with them fighting Deadpool.
Yeah?
Yep.
I like this.
Remember every time we'd go to Comic-Con, we would look through all those prints.
Oh man, I bought so many.
And then you're at one point you're just like, I can't buy these anymore. I have too many.
I don't even hang them up. I
I have
probably
too
have
many.
like a dozen of them, and I don't have a single one hung
I'm
up.
getting the same. I have the same thing.
But I thought this was kind of sweet because I was really looking at it in detail earlier. You've got Leonardo's katana is broken off into Wolverine's leg, and then Wolverine is slashed Donnie's bow staff. You got Mikey holding his arm back. I thought it was pretty badass.
It's really cool.
But yeah, I remember buying this print. I think it was at Saratoga Comic Con. I was looking at the prints all day long, and I wanted like a couple of them. And I was like, I'm not paying $10 a piece. And then like as they were getting ready to close shop, it was 4 for $12.
Right.
I'm like, you bet your fucking bottom dollar John's getting 4 of them for $12. I did, I tell ya. I got this one. I got Captain America fighting Red Skull, MODOK, Batroc the Leaper, Winter Soldier, Crossbones. Somebody else is thrown in there. I got another one where it's Kingpin fighting Daredevil on a watchtower. And then there was another one. I don't remember. I don't know.
It's fun. It's
Fuck this shit. I don't care. I'm done.
We don't have enough wall space for all those.
I don't have enough house space for all this shit. But I don't know. Ninja Turtles. It's everywhere. Like I said, there's the video games. There's movies, toys, cartoons, clothing. It's everywhere. I remember being a little kid being infatuated by Ninja Turtles. Still as an adult, we are clearly.
You don't grow out of it.
You don't.
And I think a lot of it is the quality of it too.
I would think
the quality sticks with you with how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like today, a lot of stuff I see today, just I don't care because the quality isn't there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
It just doesn't last.
Right. Yeah, and I think Ninja Turtles is something that will last forever. I say that, but I don't know if that's even a good thing because the direction it's going now, it could just become
Yeah.
I will, pun intended, a shell of its former self.
But notice how the ones that are coming out don't ever stay around long.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
And
But
this stuff
that's
holds up.
That's the current though. That's the. I would like to think there's so much of this out there, the old Ninja Turtles or whatever, to get people into it. There's enough of that to at least get them into it, opposed to relying on the new shit.
And I'd like to think that a kid would see a Ninja Turtle in the store and watch the new one and be like, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And somebody would introduce them to the original and be like, this is fucking amazing.
Yep.
You know, that's what I would like to think.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, there's Ninja Turtle collectibles that I know you want, and I personally want one. The Donatello movie version.
Yeah.
And I want the
The
Shredder
NECA
one.
ones,
I want the Shredder one bad.
I want the Foot Clan one too. The
Oh.
Foot
I
Soldier.
thought you picked up the Donatello, or you
No.
went back and it was gone.
Yeah,
I remember now. Okay.
I want the Shredder one.
because they are so accurate.
Oh, they're
It's
really
like you
so
took off the screen and made it into a fucking action figure.
I want that one, and I want the Penguin one from Batman Returns.
I do want the little turtles from
Oh yeah, I know what
to
you're talking about.
put with our the.
They make
canister
I saw it on
ones.
Toying Around's website. You can buy it looks like an alleyway. I don't know how big it is. Let's just say it's the width of the table right here. And it's probably this tall, and it looks like the side of a brick building, all New York City style. There's like a manhole, there's a little like steel ladder, there's I say shelving, that's not the word I want to use.
The thing you set up to like paint
Well, it's a
house?
display. No.
Oh.
It's a whole display set. Like it's a toy display set, but it looks like a kind of like a rooftop almost. But you can set all your figures and shit up on it, and it looks so badass because they have basically like I'm gonna take them off. They have like basically these guys. These are awesome. I want these. These are mine. When you leave here, you can leave these. They have like these guys up on like the display and everything, and I'm just like, man, if I had millions of dollars, I would be buying this shit like crazy and putting all this stuff on display. Yeah. I remember being in high school. I made book stops. Bookends.
Yeah, bookends.
They were again, one side of a building, the other side of a building. On this side, it looked like it was spray painted TMNT, and there was like a little manhole cover that was pushed aside. It was all made out of clay. I made all this shit out of clay.
Mm-hmm.
And the manhole cover was pushed to the side a little bit, and there was a piece of pizza just sitting by it. And then on the other side of it, there was the same exact thing, but on the brick wall coming down was a metal ladder. And then there was a manhole cover with a little green hand looking like it's pulling the manhole cover back over the lid, and those were my bookends. And I wish I still had those. They weren't great. They weren't perfect, But even now, if I put them in front of me, I'd be like, these are kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Because they were pretty sweet. They were.
I've got a funny
That's
story
huge.
for my mom used to do arts and crafts when I was little, and she bought me this. Did a surprise, and it was Raphael, but it was like a porcelain statue,
Mm-hmm.
and you paint it.
Oh.
And she knew the purple one was my favorite, but it had the size, so it was Raphael. So she painted it green and purple, but I'm like, I got it, and I'm like, Mom, this isn't the right color.
But she tried.
But she knew purple was my favorite, so I still kept it.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I don't know where it is now, but I really loved it. It was great.
My grandmother, that's where I got my arts and crafts from. My grandmother, she made, I wish I still had these. These were so cool. They were probably 1/4 of an inch thick. All 4 Ninja Turtles out of wood. And they were probably about this size altogether. And they were all in different poses, all in their own different poses, all 4 of the turtles.
No.
And they had little screw holes in them. And my mom had them in me and my brother's room up on our wall. And then in the center, it was the Ninja Turtle logo. And my grandmother made all of them out of wood. She had painted it all. She had etched into it all the detail and everything. They were so fucking cool. I just remember always having them up on our wall. My mom was always like, don't ever touch those. Don't you ever fucking touch those. Because she knew they were really awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I've always loved Ninja Turtles very much. Clearly, I made our little Ninja Turtle sign here. Did you see that, Dave?
That would actually make a really good shirt.
Yeah.
Do that as a logo for
Right.
as the Ninja Turtles.
That would be sweet. I wish we had like a 4th but like a 4th reoccurring guest, because then that logo could be you in a position, me in a position, Markadius, and then that 4th person. But even then, we could do a 3-person one, because you really have become an essential part of this podcast. I love it. I appreciate you coming on all the time.
I enjoy it.
I think Dave enjoys it.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is something that came out the past few years. The WWE Ninja Turtles crossovers.
Oh, yes.
I really did enjoy those figures.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm glad you
I
said that. I
remember
was going to grab them and bring them and do the whole, show and tell thing, but fuck that. But yeah, they did.
They did 2 series.
Two
I didn't
waves.
have the second one. I don't have the second one, but
The first set we both have the first set. There's Michelangelo as Ultimate Warrior, John Cena as Leonardo, Raphael as Sting,
yep, and Undertaker is Donatello,
which is your favorite, which
Yeah,
is
fucking
cool.
great.
Or no, not Ultimate Warrior. I'm sorry, it's Macho Man. Was
Yeah,
Mikey.
Macho Man. Yep.
And then
he was Ultimate Warrior in the second one.
yeah, I think that's what it was.
Leonardo was Piper, I think, in the.
No, wasn't Leonardo the Rock?
Yeah, the Rock. Yeah,
Wasn't he the Rock? I
Yeah.
think.
Might have been. Was it Donatello that was Piper?
Mikey might have been Piper.
Might have been Mikey,
It kind of makes sense. He's rowdy. Who is Raph?
Shit, I don't even remember. I really don't remember.
I don't either. Well, there's that series,
Yeah.
but they also did a Ghostbusters one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
I
cool.
want those.
I'm sure they'll do more because Mattel and they're just WWE's doing the Masters of the Universe series
Yep.
now, so
Yeah.
which I have the
Cool.
ultimate. I have the Ultimate Warrior
Like
one, and it looks
He-Man
fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's just Ninja Turtles is just everywhere. It's crazy everything that they can do with it. I know there was like another Ninja Turtle thing I was thinking of, but a collectible thing.
And you know what's funny? If you were a fan of the Turtles as a kid, you're most likely still a fan. Like,
yeah, you don't just say, well, I used to be a fan. Well, why'd you stop? Well, because the new ones sucked. Well, that's a stupid reason. That's what most people would say.
like I know other people that, like my buddy, he loved Ninja Turtles. He still does. Like, he's my age. You don't grow out of
I'm
them.
38 and I love the fucking Ninja Turtles.
I absolutely
so,
love the Ninja Turtles.
And it's such a cool concept. Just the fact of the mutagen and turtles and just the whole concept of it is fucking
And
great.
all the shows that were inspired by the idea of the Ninja Turtles. Biker Mice from Mars.
Mm,
Again, SWAT Cats, Street Sharks,
yeah,
Battletoads,
Oh,
Yeah.
Battletoads. fucking
Cowboys of Mumesa. Any of those shows with humanoid animal
Yeah.
disfigurements or mutations or whatever, It's all because of the Ninja Turtles. It's there's nothing before the Ninja Turtles that I could think of that these guys got inspiration from. Eastman and Laird just sitting around thought of it. Would be a cool idea. They wanted to see that comic book. They didn't think anybody would buy it. They didn't think anybody would be interested in it.
God, no.
They made it for themselves, right? Is that how it went in the movie?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm trying to remember from Turtle Power.
One of them drew like a turtle fighting, and then
in
the
a
other
stance.
one had to like do it better.
Right, it was a challenge,
Yeah.
exactly, and then it just sprawled from there. Yep.
Yeah, it just got huge.
I wish I had that movie. That was a great
Turtle Power is a
documentary.
great movie.
Really was.
Watch it.
I don't even know. I keep having all these other things of like Ninja Turtles in my head. Like Vanilla Ice is a huge Ninja Turtle fanatic.
Oh, good.
Like I think his entire left leg is covered in Ninja Turtle tattoos.
Oh, wow.
I love listening to that song too. I love it's such a
The
great-
Ninja Rap.
Yeah, it's such a
Yeah.
great-
Well, he was on a TV show called Toy Hunters, probably like 10 years ago. And he hired the guy, I forget the guy's name, Alan or something like that. Is that what it
The
is?
Toy Hunter guy. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
The little like kind of like he seems
He'd
like
go
he
up
might
in,
be
like,
gay,
the
but he's
attics.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I like him.
He hired that guy to find him Ninja Turtle classic toys. So the guy went out, found the Technodrome, the blimp, the motorcycle
I
that
had
shot
all that
pizza,
shit.
all of them, right? All this shit. He found all of them still in the original boxes. It was like $10,000, and Vanilla Ice was like sold.
Was he like
I'll buy all
tearing
that.
up or like
Oh, he was
emotional?
so excited.
Oh,
He was
wow.
so excited. He's like, I can't believe you found him. You know, even found him, let alone found him in the box. Like, it's like that. I love you.
I remember getting the blimp for Christmas.
Mhm.
That's one of my most vivid memories as a
man.
kid. Is just opening that huge box with the fucking blimp turtle
Right.
blimp in it.
I don't remember what episode. Or no, it was in this, the Turtles Forever cartoon. When they go back to '87, the Turtles from '87 are like, well, let's use our best vehicles. So they show you like silhouettes of the blimp and of the fucking van.
Yeah.
So they show like Raphael and a couple of the '87 Turtles in the van, and Raph's like, he's the 2004 version. He's like, this is like the best you got. Like this thing sucks. And he goes, well, it beats the alternative. And then they show the blimp, and Mikey's up in the blimp. And he's like, this is the worst vehicle ever. Like, why do you have
Was it
this?
one man in the blimp?
No, like, there's one guy driving the blimp, and then there's two guys on the outside just holding on for dear life. And Mikey's like, this is the worst. Like, why do you have this?
Yeah.
But
Why?
that cartoon, like, that movie is so funny because you watch this cartoon, and they don't take it serious at all. They're throwing trash cans and pizza and garbage at Shredder to beat him up, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
So they do that in this movie. And one of the Shredders, they're doing that to him. And they're like, this Shredder's so powerful, not even trash cans can hurt him. In the 2004 version, Turtles are looking at him like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Like, who are these fools? Like, what time do they come from?
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that. Ugh, I don't know. I do. I love Ninja
it.
Turtles. You guys
So
have anything
good.
else you guys want to say about Ninja Turtles?
I don't know. I can't think of anything now.
I know we're on a roll, but like your favorite Turtle's Donnie, yours is too, mine's Mikey. I know who your favorite villain is. Who's your favorite villain?
The Rat King.
The Rat
And I
King.
have some artwork done by you of the Rat King. Which
That's
I love.
terrific. You have some artwork done by me as well
Yeah, I do.
of your Donatello I drew you for your birthday.
I don't know if I have a favorite villain.
You gotta have a
Probably
favorite villain.
Baxter Stockman.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite villain, Markadius. Would you hand me that Funko behind you, please? This is my favorite. Well, my favorite villain, honestly, is Rocksteady. That's kind of always going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite villain that's not like a henchman, that's not a constant, is Leatherhead.
Yeah.
He is the coolest to me.
Mhm.
It's the same reason Gambit is my favorite X-Man. That Cajun,
Yep.
Southern,
Okay. Yeah.
cool hand loop, badass persona. I love that. I love that shit. I think it was Turtles in Time. I can't remember what arcade. I know it was. I say arcade style, old Super Nintendo style Ninja Turtle game. I don't remember which one it was, but you fight Leatherhead on a train.
Oh,
and
yeah.
god damn, it was a hard fight.
Yep.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Woo!
I remember the train.
That was fucking
That was
hard.
a boss battle for sure.
And then the whole reason you're even fighting him, because in the background, you're heading towards the city because Krang is flying around in the background, boom, destroying everything, and you're on your way there to stop him, but you got to go through Leatherhead first. That was so hard. Me and my brother used to play that
What
game.
does he just chomp you? Like,
Oh, man, he charges, swings his tail.
Man.
You're running across like a train car. It's just a flat train car.
Yep.
You got foot soldiers that drop in because you'll fight him for a few minutes, and then you'll hit him. He'll do that thing where he'll jump off screen, like he'll jump on the top of the train car. Right.
Yeah.
And then you got to fight like a couple of henchmen, and then he'll drop back down.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the hardest bosses.
Yep.
Absolutely one of the hardest. But yeah, just my personal favorite is Leatherhead. That Louisiana crocodile. I liked him. But
Yep.
but I just would have loved to see like more characters like that in movies.
Yeah.
Like
there's so many possibilities.
if you go back and you freeze frame Out of the Shadows when Shredder is getting put into his little station when he gets frozen, you can see the Triceratops.
Oh yeah.
The fuck is his name?
I
You guys know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
The orange Triceratops from Dimension X.
Yep.
You see his silhouette, and I'm pretty sure you see the rabbit. I always want to say Yajirobe.
Usagi Yojimbo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yojimbo. I just want to say Yajirobe from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys! Yeah, I saved the world. I cut his tail off.
Cut the tail.
I always want to say his name.
But I loved it because the mutagen you could transform anything.
Yep.
Any animal, any insect. There were so many possibilities for a henchman forever for Shredder with the mutagen.
And
Have
the
you
third
read
movie would have been dope.
Have you read the Batman, the first comic book?
You saw the movie.
I saw the movie. I didn't read it.
Oh, man.
I will.
It's really good.
It is pretty cool. I'd like to know what the second one is. Bane on the cover of the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a variant or something.
Bane and Donatello have a
Sex
interaction.
I jumped the gun.
He beats the crap out of Donnie, and then they have to go rescue him.
I'm in for that one.
Yeah.
Anytime your guys' hero gets fucked up, I'm down.
It's just Donatello with his face like awful looking, and then Bane, and it's like that's on the cover.
I remember seeing that cover, and I didn't know if it was a variant with just him on it, or if he was the main baddie.
I'll bring it. I'll read it, and we'll have to read it.
Random, but I bought my daughter a Scooby-Doo comic, and it's the most inappropriate Scooby-Doo comic I've ever bought. It's the only Scooby-Doo.
Really?
They have guns. They're killing monsters instead of ripping their masks off.
Whoa.
They're like secret agents, but it's kind of badass because it's like not my normal Scooby-Doo clearly, but it's like, oh, well, I guess that exists. I'm okay with that, I guess.
Velma like shooting?
Oh, they're like sexy, kind of.
Like Black Widow?
No,
like
they're dressed.
tight?
No, they're dressed like Scooby-Doo characters.
Oh, wow.
But it's just like, it looks like this almost. No, it's not like cartoony, bubbly like that, but it's taken serious like this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, clearly alien crossover.
Yeah.
But like I said, until I started rewatching these as like an adult, or even later teens or whatever, I didn't realize how fucking out there they were. I really only in my head could really think of like Mausers, Stockman, Bebop Rocksteady, Leatherhead, the Rat King.
Doesn't
Irma.
the pizza
pizza becomes
comes to
evil.
life?
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't remember like the aliens and all the
stuff that
weird
they did,
space shit that they did. It just, I honestly, as I was getting older and seeing that in the 2004 version cartoon, and seeing that in the certain comics that I had, I thought that was only in that. I didn't really think, I didn't remember it being as prominent in the original cartoons like it was. I mean, like, look at that. That's straight up fucking
Xenomorph.
yeah, exactly. And he just turned him into a little piece of poop.
Yep.
Little dog poops.
Wasn't that they were the meatballs from the pizza, and
Yeah.
they changed into that, and then they changed them back into the meatballs.
There you go.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. And that's out there.
Donatello
So
had to,
out
like,
there.
build
But you know what's
something.
fucked up? We kind of, you guys may or may not agree with me. We critique today's cartoons and how fucking weird and out there they were, but
Yeah.
they're so. I feel now they're deliberately so fucking weird and out there just because. Well, look how weird that is. So
Yeah.
this could be this. It's like no. Remember the show Gumball or not Gumball? Uncle Grandpa.
Yep. Pizza Steve.
Stupid shit like that. That it's like dumb people.
It's very dumb, but I
Right.
find it funny.
There is certain aspects that are funny. Of course,
Yeah.
there's funny in everything, but that was like dumb to be dumb.
Like, who is an Uncle Grant? Why would you call him Uncle
Yeah,
Grandpa?
let's go on an adventure on your Uncle Grandpa. Isn't that how he talked?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Give me my Ninja Turtles that are stoned and I don't know it. God, I just real quick. I remember when one of these Ninja Turtle movies came out. They were selling pizzas at Walmart, and the pizza boxes had the Ninja Turtles all over them. And I just always thought that was cool. You gave me a gift one time in a box that you had put Ninja Turtle stickers all over.
It was custom printed with
Cool.
Happy Birthday. And
Yep, I still have it. It's in there.
Cool.
So yeah, we've actually, it's kind of funny. This podcast was formulated on a couple of ideas I had that you threw out there. Like, you should do a podcast because some of the ideas I had for some of the movies, you were kind of backing me and like, you should throw those ideas out there. Maybe someone will hear you. Blah blah blah. And as we were talking about doing our first podcast or our first episode, we didn't have a fucking clue. And I just remember throwing out there like, we should do Ninja Turtles because we were talking about Seamus as Rocksteady. That was our only premise of it. And here it is a year later. We are
And we've
finally now talking about it.
Gone almost 2 hours on the Ninja Turtles.
Hey, you know what? I think that's a good way to wrap it up then. Because there's always more to be said about the Ninja Turtles. Because there's a lot out there. I mean, I have a lot I could talk about Ninja Turtles. I really could.
Not like we can't revisit it again later at some point.
Exactly. And there's going to be new movies that come out at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about those.
Yeah, Nickelodeon's going to pimp that, franchise out
Totally,
for as much as
totally.
they can.
Yup. I don't have a clue what our next episode will be, folks. But I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Leave a comment in the comments below.
Right. Comment anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Interact with us.
Interact. I do. I get personal friends that say they listen to the show, and they even recite some stuff verbatim. So I know you guys are listening. I love hearing back and having the actual conversations. But to increase our views, to increase our popularity across these things, you have to comment.
Yeah.
You have to interact with it
Tell your
digitally
friends.
because that's the only way it's going to spread like a virus.
Yeah,
And that's what we're looking
if people
for.
see there's more comments, they're going to comment on it too.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to get in.
I'm sick of liking all of our videos 1,000 times.
I liked one last night.
That's good. No,
Yeah.
even if you like them,
Rumble, Ready to Rumble.
it's
one.
great.
With Nick.
Ridiculous
The kid
Nicholas.
yeah.
But yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Facebook, Twitter, iTunes.
Apple Podcasts, Google
Christ,
Podcasts.
if you're on MySpace, we'll do you one and we'll go and we'll make a MySpace for you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it just because we know there's primates
I'll
out
send
there
you a
still.
CD with the fucking MP3 on it if you want.
I don't know what that means because I don't understand things, but we will do it. Because we just want to be.
We'll come to your house
We want to be
Whoa,
engaged.
whoa.
and record.
Maybe for Mom's hot. Maybe I'll come to your house for it.
Maybe this
I
will
could
be
get
the
into a
year-
lot of trouble with what I want to say.
Maybe this will be the year we get a girl on the show.
There has been a request by a personal friend of mine, and she said, and I'm putting her right on the spot right now, Sheila, that's going to be her name, because we all have nicknames on the show.
Okay.
And back when we used to all hang out in high school, I would always call her Woman. Woman? She was the one chick that would always hang out with like us guys. She was
Cool.
awesome chick. She always took it like a champ, which is funny. She'd understand why. But I'd always call her Woman, and it started to get old after a while, so I wanted to come up with some kind of new insult that she couldn't really catch on to for a little while. So I started calling her Sheila, which is woman in Australian.
Oh. Get
So
now, I
it
get
just sounds cool, and I like. And so in my phone, she is Sheila. So she said she would come on this podcast if the topic would be, and ladies and gentlemen, she knows me so well, the topic would be why, well, from her perspective, this is why women are better than men.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh God.
But my perspective would be why men are better than women.
Oh, man. We're going
Really?
to have to put a
That's the topic?
disclaimer on that episode.
Not about comic books or wrestling.
It'll all fall
Okay.
into one. I guarantee it. She has a great time. It's not this. It wouldn't be a shit on fest. It would be
an actual discussion, not just fuck you, and
no. It'd be a lot of that.
but not
It
totally.
it would be an absolute educated, off the cuff, profanity driven debate of
I
a
like
lot
it.
of fun.
I like it.
And she knows me so well. That was her idea. She goes,
the Comic Wrestling Podcast Battle of the Sexes.
yes, that's
There you
exactly
go.
what it would be.
Does she
And
like wrestling or comic books?
not to the degree of this, but
Okay.
she would be a great mix.
Okay.
She really would.
You
Sounds
say
good to me.
so.
Yeah.
She's a trip. She's an absolute trip. And I would like her to come on here because that would a chick on here would really help
It would boost the ratings.
boost something. All right. Stop it. Just have a little respect, guy. Yeah, I don't know. So if that wraps up, y'all.
I'm doing some streaming. I've been streaming a little more.
Yeah, what have you been streaming?
Kingdom Hearts and
Ooh. Where are you at in that? What world? Oh, which one?
the first one.
Oh,
I just
Tarzan World?
no, I'm going back to Traverse Town.
Oh, isn't it the best?
Yeah, I just beat the Hercules. I just fought Cloud Strife and
Did you beat
the
him?
Coliseum. Oh yeah.
Woo, doggy.
Then you fight the three-headed dog.
Cerberus?
Yep.
He's not in the
pain
newest one, is he?
ass. No.
He's not in 3. That's weird. He was in 1 and 2, but he's not in 3.
Yeah.
But you get all the Titans in 3, which is cool.
Yeah. But mainly Kingdom Hearts 1 and then maybe Spider-Man. But, yeah, I'm enjoying Kingdom Hearts again.
You mentioned Spider-Man real quick. I went to a party last night. I don't do that often. I don't go out partying ever, but I went to Sheila's last night. It was a little birthday shindiggery, and all the adults were eating I was eating baby carrots. I was eating a lot of baby carrots because they were good. I was eating baby carrots and drinking beer, and all the adults were partaking in that, and the kids running around like mad children, and they came up to one of the adults, and they said they wanted to play one of 2 games. I don't remember what one was, but the other one was Spider-Man.
Cool.
And Buck Barber was there with me, and he was sitting there, and he goes, "Oh, I really want to play that Spider-Man game." And me in my drunken stupor, I'm like, "Oh, I do too."
I do too.
And someone goes, "Why don't you guys go watch him play it?" I'm like, "No."
No.
I
That's
want
not-
to play it. I don't want to watch
right.
it.
I don't want to sit there and watch a fucking 5-year-old not know what he's doing. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. I'm gonna play the game, and I'm gonna show him, and then But
That's like they play
It's
Super
good.
Smash
It's
Brothers
really
on the
good.
Switch at work on break. And for a while, I was just kind of watching it. I'm like, fuck, I can mash buttons. I'm gonna fuck.
give me that thing
controller.
exactly, and especially the Spider-Man game. Like, I want to play the story.
There's nothing more satisfying than swinging on the webs through the city. Like,
It's such a gratifying
oh my
feel, huh?
god, it's so good.
I love it.
And then if you fall in like a pond or in the ocean or whatever, you're like, well, I could probably just swing out of here. No, you have to like
You really gotta swim out of there?
Yeah,
That's cool.
you have to swim until you get to like the shore,
And
and
then
then,
you
you
can,
can
like,
web.
That's cool.
That's a really cool detail.
They
I'm
have
like, "Jeez,
in
Spidey."
the Morbius trailer, the Spider-Man picture they showed,
Yeah,
it's from Spider-Man.
is it from
the
the
game?
game?
But it's the Tobey
It is. Yep, you can get that.
Maguire's.
You can get that one.
It's pretty sweet. Is that pretty much it? You got going on, Markadius?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll end it. Well, I won't end it. I'll go with you. You got anything?
No, I'm just looking forward to the wrestling show we're going to be doing a table at in March. The
Right.
Awakening.
This is the comic shop, but we will plug what we got coming up. You go ahead, plug it in.
It's March 20th. It's going to be in Waterville, New York. and a lot of the proceeds go to benefit the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Ah, terrific. That's making a resurgence, huh?
Yep.
Cool.
So we're gonna do a table, and I was thinking of maybe I've got some autographed 8x10s like Sid and Chris Masters and stuff. Maybe doing a raffle and the proceeds going to the Hall of Fame.
That would be cool.
So
definitely the podcast will be a presence there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna geek out if I will. Oh well, actually I won't say geek out because we're talking wrestling. I'll mark out if I will. It's appropriate to say that we are going to be working a show with Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
We're going to be working a show with the Wild Samoans.
With the Ascension, who
With
just
the
got released
Ascension.
from WWE.
We've been to shows where these people, like wrestlers, have been. We have worked shows that, like, Brutus Beefcake has been at, but I don't really glorify that.
Yeah.
But to say we are literally going to be working the same show as someone like the Wild Samoans.
Yeah.
That's kind of a notch on my belt. I would really like to
And
add.
we're one of the only 2 vendors that have been announced so far.
That's
so
pretty awesome. I'm very excited for that. We got other things coming up, other wrestling events that we're going to be going to and whatnot. We'll talk about those on the wrestling
And
ring.
we're going to start doing a lot more stuff at cons and stuff like
get
that.
a little bit more involved.
Yep.
Markadius, be aware that when the cons come up,
I'll be at the cons.
we can.
We have a lot of ideas of stuff we want to do.
If you got anything you want to add, any ideas, you are definitely part of the Holy Trinity in this.
Okay.
In this aspect now, so like the con thing. If we go to cons, you're available to go. We can all go. Make it a team effort. That would be really cool.
Okay.
Eventually, I want to get tables at cons, but we'd have to get like a
permit?
tax ID and stuff.
Mhm.
So because if we want to sell stuff, you have to have the tax ID.
Okay.
But that's easy to get. I just have to fill out the paperwork for it. But
Wow.
tables can get expensive. So actually,
Yeah.
if we're splitting it between the 3 of us, that actually wouldn't be too bad.
Well, I don't have anything I want to sell.
I would have to look.
Well, if we
and
do
see.
shirts and stuff, but
Fuck that, no. I'll give those out for free at the first con. Give those out. Well, no, maybe not for free. Cheap though.
Yeah.
Get people to come back.
Just have them say something about the podcast.
yeah, that's what we want to do.
Yep.
Interviews
And
like
then
cosplayers
get
and
a
stuff like that.
T-shirt
Yep.
or whatever.
Yep.
Wow.
Because it was never our goal to become like a show, but we're enjoying it, and we're not looking for fame or success, but we might as well enjoy the avenues that come with this.
And if it does expand, it expands.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a pretty good product. We got a great logo. We've got great commitment. We got a good team. And like he said, we're gonna come to your house.
We can.
Just staring at the
We
camera.
have the
Just
technology.
come right to your house. Come to your house. Right to
Hope
your
you got
house.
snacks.
Ooh, I hope you have snacks too. If you don't have snacks, I'm not coming to your
We're going
house.
to the
I mean,
next
even
house.
Bully Ray had Oreos. So if you don't have,
And he's a
snacks-
bully.
Yeah.
So what does that say?
Yeah.
I personally, I don't really have much going on right now. Not streaming, nothing like that. Been gaming a little bit, playing some Red Dead. That's about it. Other than that, I think that wraps it up.
I like it.
This has been the Comic Wrestling Podcast, little baby sister in a nutshell, the Comic Shop, the TMNT Turtle Power Special. This fellow over here is always,
Deadly Dave.
and this guy is going to always be,
Markadius.
and I am most definitely the wild card, Ace Williams. We want to thank you guys for joining us,
Thanks, guys.
and tune in next time.